Worshippers of the devil, the makers of kings, or guardians of the Holy Grail? Who were the Knights Templar? What were their secrets? And what of them remains today? After the recapture of the Holy Land in 1099, migration to Jerusalem increased. The road to Jerusalem, for which many pilgrims began in the coastal city of Jaffa, was a perilous one, wrought with bandits who would often slaughter travelers by the hundreds as they attempted the journey inland. In 1120, under the rule of King Baldwin II, the defense of Jerusalem was entrusted to the Knights Hospitallers, who maintained a strong defense against attackers, but who did not have the resources to protect pilgrims as they journeyed from Jaffa. It was in that year that a French knight named Hugh de Payens approached King Baldwin and Warmond, then Patriarch of Jerusalem, proposing the creation of a new military order to serve as protectors of the many pilgrims that traveled the road from Jaffa. His request granted, Hugh de Payens was also given the captured mosque, located on the Temple Mount, believed to be the original site of the Temple of Solomon, and thus spawning their name. Originally known as the Poor Fellow Soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon, the Knights Templar had begun. With little financial resources and relying upon donations for survival, they adopted the emblem of two knights riding a single horse, emphasizing the order's poverty. However, this would soon change. In 1129, the order was officially endorsed by the church, receiving land, money, businesses, and young noble sons eager to join in their mission. This came in no small part to the powerful support they had in Saint Bernard Clairvaux, a leading church member and nephew of one of the order's founding members. Their eminent rise to power was further assisted by Pope Innocent II's papal decree granting Templars the freedom to pass freely between borders, not pay taxes, and answer only to papal authority. The order flourished, increasing its numbers exponentially in just a few short years. During the Second Crusade, it was often the Templars that led the charge into battle. Outfitted in heavy armor and riding armored war horses, Templars were the deciding factor in many battles, including one of their most legendary victories at the Battle of Montesquieu, where 500 Templar knights helped defeat the Muslim leader Saladin and his army of 26,000 soldiers. Not all of the order was military, however. Others acted in support positions, assisting knights and managing financial infrastructure. A practice that became common was for noblemen to place their assets under the management of the Templars while they participated in the Crusades. This accumulation of wealth in numerous locations brought about a line of credit system, whereas a traveler could deposit their assets at one Templar location, obtain documentation of their deposit, and receive their funds once they had arrived at their destination. This is what many believe to be the forerunner to modern-day banking. Templars also erected fantastic castles and churches, were involved in the import and export of goods, and at one point owned the island of Cyprus. This was the height of Templar power and influence. In 1304, Pope Clement V made an unsuccessful attempt to unite the Hospitallers with the Knights Templar. During these failed negotiations, past accusations were revisited and an investigation was requested. Pope Clement sent a letter to King Philip IV of France to assist in the investigation. But Philip, already heavily in debt to the Templars, sought to utilize this information to his advantage, pressuring the church to take action against the Templars. He finally took action himself. On a date synonymous with bad luck, King Philip ordered Templar Grand Master Jacques de Molay and many other Templars to be simultaneously arrested. It was Friday, October 13th, 1304. Many believe the superstition surrounding Friday the 13th to be rooted in this Templar legend. The Templars were accused of committing many offenses, including apostasy, heresy, obscene rituals, homosexuality, financial corruption, fraud, and secrecy. Many confessed to these crimes while under duress, while many more were tortured and burned at the stake. Finally, in the year 1312, Pope Clement disbanded the order by papal decree, giving the majority of the Templar assets to the Knights Hospitaller, essentially forcing the merger he so desired. Grand Master Jacques de Molay was put to death in March of 1314, denouncing his forced confession to the end. It is said that Grand Master de Molay called from the flames as he burned alive, saying, "God knows who is wrong and who has sinned. Soon a calamity will occur to those who have condemned us to death." Pope Clement died a month later, and King Philip died in a hunting accident before a year's end. What wasn't absorbed into the Knights Hospitaller either fled to lands beyond the Pope's reach or were arrested and convicted of their crimes. The Knights Templar were no more. The story of the secretive and yet powerful medieval Templars, especially their persecution and sudden dissolution, has been a tempting source for many other groups which have used alleged connections with the Templars as a way of enhancing their own image and mystery, most notably the Freemasons. And though fictionalized in many books, films, and video games, there is no clear historical connection between the Knights Templars or any modern organizations, nor any historical proof of their possessing any religious artifacts. Yet there's no denying their influence in history. Whether systems of banking, tales of heroic battles depicted for our entertainment, or secret rituals utilized by secret societies, the Knights Templar will forever remain the epitome of a medieval knight.